And we found out Josh Allen is registered for his wedding wherever he damn well pleases. What do you make of his new contract?
Well, this is one of the rare occasions where a team willingly tore up 4 years left on a contract, replaced it with a new 6-year deal, $330 million. It's $55 million per year from signing, which is the richest contract in NFL history. It was overdue. The contract he signed after 3 seasons was grossly obsolete. He was making $43 million per year. Publicly, he wasn't saying anything about it. Privately, the Bills knew they had to do something with it, and they did it. They gave him the reward that he deserves, 6 years, $330 million. And now, what does that mean for Patrick Mahomes? What does that mean for Joe Burrow? What does that mean for Lamar Jackson? They all pay attention to these deals, and when a big one happens, watch for Burrow to maybe get some sort of an adjustment, and especially Mahomes. He's got that ultra long-term deal, but they've been moving cash into the short term to give him cash flow. That's the key for quarterbacks. What's your 4-year cash flow? Allen now has the record at $220 million. Dak's got $219 million over 4 years. Mahomes and Burrow are going to want to pass the $220 million that Allen has. And Mahomes has the argument for it, because Mahomes is the guy that keeps Josh Allen and the Bills from going to the Super Bowl.
So I hear you on that front, but is there a cash issue for any team in the NFL right now where we're looking at lack of free agency movement or dragging feet on signing guys to incredibly rich contracts that we know they're going to have to sign them to, where there's a cash aspect of this behind the scenes that might explain some of the lack of moves or foot dragging? Mike?
Well, it's not a question of availability of cash. I mean, the Bills are on the hook for all of the overages at their new stadium, and the estimated price has gone from $1.4 billion to $2.2 billion. They're on the hook for that $800 million. They're finding the money to pay Josh Allen. You know, we hear these huge numbers, and I've seen the graphics, $1 billion in contracts awarded. The players get half of the money, which means the owners get the other half. And the owners have all of the equity. And we're seeing more and more teams shave off a few percent here, a few percent there, up to 10% for private equity. They're turning these gargantuan franchise values into cash. There isn't a cash issue as it relates to having it. The cash issue is related to spending it, because every dollar you save on players is one more dollar that goes into the super yacht maintenance fund. And these owners, as much as they like to say we want to win the Super Bowl, that's just part of what you have to say to get people to keep their wallets open to buy tickets and watch games, because they ultimately view wins and losses, I believe, based on the balance sheet. And it's Brewster's Millions, NFL version. It's impossible to lose money even if you try. But some of these owners are still cheap when it comes to players, and I think that can be an issue for some of these teams, like the Bengals and like the Cowboys.
All right, so then what's the move you're looking to see that few people are talking about before I let you go, Mike?
Yeah, that's a good question, which is always the thing that you say when you're trying to buy time to come up with an answer.
I thought
the quarterback carousel is what fascinates me.
I thought people are being complimentary when they say that to me, Mike. I didn't know that.
No, that's just I've learned not from using it. I've learned from people using it on me, because I know I never ask a good question. When I started doing interviews and people say that's a good question, it's like, no, it's not. You're just trying to buy time because you don't know what to say. I really do believe this quarterback carousel is fascinating. And before 2020, you never saw veteran starting quarterbacks become free agents. It was rare. Now every year there's the coaching carousel, then the quarterback carousel. And are there too many butts than seats this year? I think there might be. Jimmy Garoppolo's already decided to stay put with the Rams. Do you think he did that without exploring whether or not there's a team out there that would let him compete to start? I don't think so. It all goes into the reality that the tampering is rampant before noon Eastern on that first Monday of the negotiating window. So I want to see how this plays out. Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, all these veteran quarterbacks who are available, especially because the Browns need somebody, and the Browns need someone cheap. And I saw an article yesterday that implied that maybe, the headline at least, that maybe they were going to bring back Joe Flacco. I started working on that a little bit, and the name I heard for the Browns, and I'm sorry in advance, Cleveland fans, is Carson Wentz. Keep an eye on Carson Wentz to the Browns. And good luck convincing Myles Garrett that you've got a plan to win. All due respect to Carson Wentz, but come on. That isn't the centerpiece of a plan to compete for a championship. And now watch, Rich. This will be played back ad nauseum next February when the Browns are getting ready to play in the Super Bowl.
You never know, man. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.